Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
And still going to look for the dive. Oh god, Lands the point-blank cocoon as they dive on top of LazyFeel. Lands could be in trouble though, as he's just dead. Not sure about that one. The flash out from Gideon, and that was...
Well, I got my consolation call.
Yep.
And here we go. I hope we don't lose our stacks, as Kingin may be in trouble.
That's a powerful ghoulie wall as Kingin looking to try and get out of there. Hammer does come on through, but that is one more shovel, and Rich takes it down.
Occasionally play. Has a really similar ability. He's hitting those.
Wait, which character?
The Zebo.
Ah!
He has a zombies donut. Hold up.
Very cute. Great handshake from Andil. Gio is just dead. Those adoration stacks just lying on the floor. Yeah, the good thing is that they have the Realm Warp and double teleports and the Grand Starfall, as now Gideon could be in trouble. They are on the wrong side of this as Lahens has come on over. But that is Sponge now trying to get bailed out. It's not going to work though. Gideon going to be just fine, and Lahens went up into the sky to deny that one. And in fact, it's kind of an awkward composition as far as getting those bailout resets, because they can keep themselves alive for that little bit of time. As Gideon is now just dead, guys. Why he walked up there?
See if he can continue to make that pressure happen here onto Andil. We'll be seeing on this ward.
Yep, great handshake as Yukal in position. That repel absolutely fantastic. And Gideon and Calyx, the flash forward! And oh, guys, wait. Well, so they'll have like a secondary option. They can Grand Starfall warp, you know, to get everyone from everywhere.
The idea behind this composition for Ghost is...
I don't think anyone has ghosts. Lahens is a ghost, by the way. Oh, did you see the little legs? And then he was dead.
Come down. He almost is able to secure this Gromp away. Realm Warp, though, is being employed.
Yeah, and there is the Grand Starfall as well. Hostile takeover, though. They're just fighting each other. Still, in goes Gideon, and they're splitting their focus. It doesn't quite work out, and now Gideon, not enough of a wall, as the Draven's cashing in, ladies and gentlemen, from across the map. Rich wants to get bailed out. It almost happens, but Kingin just dives on top of Andil. He needs to get Fates called, and Nongshim will finally find their team fight. And look at that, 1.4K is now
just insane. So the Draven was too big to fail.
It is now.
Mention it.
Well, he's just going to walk towards two people. He's going to say stand aside, and they're going to say, all right, flashes out of the way of the hostile takeover. That's another kill, but Sponge is able to offer one back. Still, I think you're happy to take that trade to get more money onto your Draven.
They get a charge.
Will get a charge.
Yeah, and Rich is going to get a turret in return. I know this looks exciting in cinematic, but his teleport still completes now. It doesn't get canceled.
Kingin looking for Rich, and he's got Gideon there to turn up alongside him, and the Maiden just has a video, you know.
Sometimes when I see Faker walk around the corner when I'm going for a bathroom break or something too, like I just like instinctively press F in my mind. But so you know, it's okay for Draven. Especially Draven that has a Renata, but it doesn't have a Renata in this game, is playing into one.
Yeah, if it was like worse rather than better,
we had that DRX stat earlier this week on Nongshim's previous match where we were showcasing as King gets a turret here, and showcasing for Soul Point. And I don't think DRX have the damage to rush this down. It is going to be a little tricky, though. They are seen on this ward, and they have
many globals. There's so many. Like, how are you supposed to do anything about it as Rich puts himself in the ghoulie cage?
It's just going to be like they're hoping that the Rend is enough to rush this down. I mean, they have Callista, so they have a lot of secure here, but I don't know if they're going to win the fight, even if they get the secure.
Oh, this is so difficult. Yeah, Yukal on a decent flank angle, and they might be able to get the Otacon, but can they actually get out alive? That's the question. Grand Starfall comes in, Gideon straight into the ghoulie wall, though, as there is the ulti from the Callista helping Andil out, and he is not dead yet. They do manage to take down Lahens. Down goes Gideon at the same time, but Calyx is a monster. Yukal still at full health as Gio chasing after LazyFeel. He's able to pierce his way over the wall.
And even though LazyFeel got chased out of the pit,
LazyFeel is not going to get bailed out of this one, ladies and gentlemen. He is big time dead.
Yeah, that was...
Fight for this if there is some sort of attempt. Realm Warp to come in, though, and Rich finds himself in a very uncomfortable position. Gio, though, is just fighting against Yukal. That charm had to land. Otherwise, they weren't going to get that kill, and as it turned out, the charm didn't land.
Yeah, so Yukal just loses most of his health, doesn't have teleport, and I think that Nongshim know they can't Baron from this, but they could just push mid hard. If they can get some distinct backs here, they certainly could.
I mean, the problem is when they go back, then the Baron just goes over to Nongshim. They're going to look for a fight here instead as oh my god, the Whirling Death is just massive damage. Hostile takeover is not taking anyone this time around. Andor going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. And without Lazy Feel, I don't think they have much of a hope of stopping this purple worm from falling down. Calyx able to lock up the rest of these minions, and there it will go. This should be the back-breaking play for the Noodle Boys.
Doing a lot of damage right now with each and every axe he tosses into the Baron's face.
Would you say that he's reminding them of their mortality wall?
Yeah, I think so. The Baron is reminded. Does Baron have a ghost?
Oh, that's mid lane and top lane. So the Dragon, not something that Nongshim really care about here, as Lehen's just going to be dash cannon around. He didn't have full information of who was in that banana brush.
I mean, they're just
stopped a bunch of backs.
Stopping backs and winning the game.
Yeah, it is. That would have been solitary Chemtech Dragon and Lehen's for Nexus. And I think Nongshim are kind of okay with it, as the Baron buffed minions looking for some Nexus turrets. The rest of DRX are able to get back, but the Maiden is going to melt. And there are still minions here. My god, even the Shock Blasts are really scary now, as Andil does find a knock-up and a handshake onto Calyx, but he just goes golden. Gideon is in amongst it. Lazy Feel hopping mad, but the Whirling Death, it should be enough to take him down, but never mind. The bailout is actually pretty good to keep him standing. Rich now looking for a little bit
trade. So it's looking up here. I know they have Prio, and actually they will secure said Dragon.
Well, at least they're here for now. Lehen's moves over. There is a handshake. He gets pulled in, but of course, he is Elise. So he goes up into the sky.
Hard to get that steal.
Yukal in an uncomfortable position here. Sponge goes in, but he's going to go out via the Death Chamber, I'm pretty sure. He flashes, desperately looking for the bailout, but it does not work, as now Yukal, he goes golden. Jiu's going to put an axe in him. And yes, they managed to get the kill onto Calyx here, but at what cost is the question. Gideon will be able to just jump on top of the Callista. Andil, no way out for him either. Stand aside, good sir, says Jiu. And he's just able to throw that Whirling Axe. My god, that does a lot of damage. There's the ace here for Nongshim. Felt like it was pretty inevitable, as 9,000 gold the lead. And they will just move with so many packets of Ramyun towards this Nexus and take it down.
Really well played here by Nongshim. Love the composition, the execution, and the Draven was a bit of volatility that I didn't necessarily want. But, you know, they played it well. He got that cash in from top lane, got the turret, got the Ko, and I think the comp here from Nongshim is almost exactly the same idea-wise as the Game 1 comp, where you just kind of global on top of somebody and you don't actually walk off.
We actually should do it that way. You can in fact just take the headset off and just start talking into the microphone from across the way. It's now Kingen going aggressive onto Rich here. The Narbar looking okay as Sponge is coming over, and Kingen, he knows he has to commit to it. He flashes, he picks it up just before the Mega Gnar comes in. He will be sacrificed as, some ticking of the potion in the lane is, nice double Shadow Dash there. But the stun does come through. They look to turn it onto Jiu, and the power of the Braum is working as Lazy feels so incredibly close. Lands will finish him off, and now in the battle of the Braum versus Shen, I think I'm feeling like the Shen might be okay. The flash forward as Lehen's gets those empowered autos and then finds the taunt to take him down.
So it's not as good if Jiu had been able to trade a kill, obviously, but Lehen's picks up 2 kills. So it kind of evens out down there. Lavar still has a CS lead as Jiu returns to the lane.
Kingen going for it once again. I've seen this one before. This time, there is a Braum. So Concussive Blows comes down. Kingen able to dash his way out. I think he'll be okay for the moment. Does have the needlework, so he'll be fine.
Andil making a big no-song.
Gentlemen, as he does go into his little mist and then slams into the wall. And there is Lehen. Stand United comes on through. I believe Andil is going to die, and there's another kill towards the bottom side as well. Man, this observing is so incredibly good. Shout out to good old Jonas Strong there. Like, they were the champs that he'd play. Kingen is just trying to run around with these scissors. Calyx, oh no, they are both dead, aren't they? Andil going to be the first one to go down as Calyx, with a Gnar picked up, finds a chain, and there is the paranoia. I do not think this Poppy is making it out. As Gideon, does he have it? The answer is he doesn't need it. As Sponge elects to get rid of the Gwen.
He just kind of gets money.
There's so many Gnars! So many Gnars! As another Stand United, another Shadow Dash, and another death for Rich.
I mean, it's just, I was going to say, it's kind of like a Deja Vu. His ult yet, so he's kind of bored. He's like, I guess I'll go up here and I'll harass Rich until it's ready, then I'll help you guys get the dragon later. Just hold on a second.
Well, there is the taunt flash, and that should be a dead Rich. Lehans goes down, but he loves dying, guys. That's exactly what he wants to do.
That's his whole thing, and he's like, well, now I have DRX starting the dragon here. It doesn't look like Nongshim will actually go for a contest here, in part due to Calyx being behind in the side lane and lost half of his health bar, so they are going to give this one up, even though Lehans would love to ult in and fight.
Yeah, not going to be happening this time around as, tries to sacrifice.
And Kingen will now get the full turret. So that's first turret as well, and feats of strength over to Nongshim. So but they still get money, as you say. It was not just a freebie, as this will not secure the mid turret on its own, but they do have a wave crashing through it. This is a scary timing.
Paranoia comes on forward there as the stands united. There's a nice taunt. Gideon will be taken down. They do get rid of Andil, as now Sponge trying to get himself away. He will successfully do so as the Arcane Storm is down. Lehens is in a bit of trouble, shields himself, but it's a double for Yukal. And Kingen, can you stop this onslaught from the Victor? That's the question, as Rich is on the top side. He's going to get a turret. This game may have been... There also is Poppy and Braum, which can really make things difficult. Gwen is going to make things difficult as well, especially when carrying a Shen. And so that is once again Andil dead. 5 deaths now. They've really been targeting this Braum. You've noticed
that makes up for it in this situation. Maybe we see a give, but no.
Yeah, here we go. Once more. Gideon, though, just going to get separated and eliminated. I don't know about that, Paranoia. That wasn't fantastic, but the Keeper's Verdict is now on cooldown. Nongshim still looking for a fight here. As Yukal, he needs to be the target. He just does so much damage if left unattended. Chains of Corruption go down as there's a flash in, and Rich just explodes once again, denied. And Lehens, he will fall. Lazyfield goes in, and then Calyx slammed into a wall, and Lazyfield from over the other side is able to hit freely. Sponge now in potentially a little bit of trouble, but Jiu trying to fight back, and Lazyfield's just shooting one after the other. He'll take him down, no fear on this enemy's player. And no, like DRX
the situation when Gideon decides to ult. Look at where his team is, so far away. You're playing into a Poppy. You've mentioned this countless times in this game, and now you're in a situation where the fight is, like you're saying, is here's a Nocturne ult.
Yep, there's another Paranoia as Keeper's Verdict's just going to get rid of Calyx. There is a Shen delivery, but Yukal stands his ground. Gideon just fighting against Sponge. Yukal trying to get himself out of there, as Gwen is immune, kinda, because now she's inside this circle with Lazyfield and Andil. Lazyfield kites it out, gets over the wall. The culling now doing damage to Geo at the same time. Sponge taken low, but he's a Poppy. He doesn't care, and Calyx just surrounded by DRX. Fight after fight, DRX are doing it, and they're finding the angles. Rich finds Meganar finally in this game. Will be able to take down Geo. That's a clean ace, ladies and gentlemen.
I think that might just be the end of the game. I mean, it's obviously going to continue, but this is so much gained here for DRX on this fight after another impact of globals is that it allows you to take more players from further away and win the numbers game. But forcing fights into a 2v2 where you don't even have that numbers game, playing into a Poppy, and then rotating everybody else in where you're still not in position to take this fight as Rich shows up as well. Forcing these Nocturne ultimates, the Paranoia not giving them the advantage they needed to win this one. They got outplayed again.
Well, they might be getting outplayed right now, as Kingen looking to snip on towards Rich. The Wallop not really doing too much there as Yukal and Sponge. They'll turn up, and Rich just hopping away. This is looking like tilt, ladies and gentlemen, as Nongshim, as Calyx could be in a little bit of trouble here, as Silas has not looked fantastic, even though he has picked up a couple of kills, just hasn't found a lot of value in these more recent fights.
It's so hard when you start to fall behind in this Braum, you know? Braum you're dealing with a Poppy, you just don't have as much agency as you once did. And now Victor has, you know, the extra money to have an arm guard on top of his 2-item spike with the Leandri's completed. He already was doing a lot of damage in extended fights, but now he does a ton.
Yeah.
And he has that added safety. And, like, look at the support ultimate, or the support items. Okay, hold on.
Oh, okay. If at first you don't succeed, just go again, as Gravity Well doing a whole lot of work. There is that arm guard that you were talking about, Wolf. You probably should have said that in the comms for Nongshim, though, because Yukal's still kiting this one out. That's another kill. And they, like, every time they engage onto Yukal, every time Yukal makes them all dead. That is going to be a Gnar that's stolen away. He does finally die. And now the question for Nongshim is, was it worth it?
I don't think so. I think they know the answer, and they don't want to know it, and they don't want to acknowledge it, I don't think. But it was not, in fact, worth it, as the arm guard was what they really lost. So he can buy so much space here. Ando comes around on the flank, and Gideon is just dead. Like, both the Braum and the Poppy have given so many values in these forced skirmishes here for Nongshim. But Nongshim from behind, they see Victor alone in mid lane. Seems like a good play to go in. Like, that's your natural Nocturne instinct is, I press R. We got to catch this guy. He's not safe. Apart big time in this one.
Yep. And I respect the fact that Nongshim keep pulling the trigger. But it is making it go faster. You know, it's not really pushing them in the right direction as Sponge.
But now we're the same. You and I are exactly the same.
Yep. And Lehens is going to look for something, but there is the double gnaw. The turret is working overtime here at the same time. As they do manage to take it down, Rich might be in trouble as well. Some needlework coming on in. A great wallop.
The way!
He doesn't find it. Over the wall he goes as Kingin will be able to lock that one up. But as you can see, on the other side of the rift, ladies and gentlemen, there is a base that is in shambles. So Rich and in a turret in trade for everything.
Yeah, Rich is, let's say, in top diff in all chat.
I reckon that is probably the case. Gideon will be able to use the spell shield this time around on the Keeper's Verdict. Kingin gets back to base, but he's going to see that it is all on fire. Kingin goes golden, but there is no one to help him out. Great interruption there as he tries to dash away, but Andal, like, after those first 5 deaths, he's like, nah, now we lock in. And he absolutely did. Nexus turret's now on the floor. Jiu pushing really far forward. Lazyfield once again on the cusp of death, but that's where he likes it, ladies and gentlemen. No redemption for Lehens, and there goes the Nexus. We're going to 3 here.
Crush in the top lane will be a big factor here as well.
I'm really worried because I think if Rich doesn't do really well, there is a real world where DRX will do.
So winning this fight after losing control is going to be tough as
yeah, there's the bullet time just thrown out by Jiu. Picks up the kill onto the Skarner at the same time, and Gideon transforms into the Skarner.
UCal from being dove here. It's going to be still quite challenging. Big wave.
Yep, Solar Flare is going to connect, and they look to just get on top of UCal. Andal is playing defense really nicely, though, as the bullet time came on through. Still, UCal going to die, and the curtain call from over the wall here might need to be cancelled as the last bullet does fly on through. Still,
Alex is like just not quite comfortable enough to come over and deny this, and instead decides to just deny some minions by pushing into the turret. Doesn't pick up a plate, but still, one small little
double
angle
ups off the minion into him as well. My goodness. Okay, Kingin scrap shielding, will get impaled as UCal puts the rocks down and then just shoves him on top of them. Man, Kingin just can't do anything. He is just dead. And this is the value of... And okay, Headbutt Pulverize going to connect. But that's a Leona. Do not engage onto her as Lehens not going to get impaled. The flash forward is a little bit of a waste of time. And Shelly's still getting amongst it. It's UCal that actually locks that one down. But can they keep themselves alive in the fight? Kingin finding some value with the equalizer, but not quite enough. They go 1 for 1 as the Viego's already gone down. Emperor's Divide just to get them out of there as the flash forward. Rich able to pick up the kill onto Calyx. And Jiu just trying to keep them in one spot so he can kill them all. Lazyfield going to die as well. Flamethrower from Kingin will be his worst enemy. But in the end, like,
when you think of clean League of Legends, these two teams usually not the first two to come to mind, but we're seeing it. And
we're engaging onto Lehens again. And that is often a bad move. Double stun. Down goes UCal immediately. The bullet time value has been disgusting in this game. Welcome back to you, by the way. Brilliant performance. Kingin also is just going to cook Lazyfield. And they will move back. Look for this Hex Tech Dragon. And Nongshim, that's a good way to solidify yourself in this game.
Yeah, and for DRX, engaging on Leona, as you pointed out, is not necessarily the best way to start things off, as he has Aftershock, he has Eclipse, he is not going to die.
Nope. Even here, as Sponge was thinking about going for that particular option, Jiu not going to be as lucky as he looks to walk his way out. Gets a shield, and the Bloodthirster did kind of keep me
It kept it interested?
Yeah, it kept me interested for a second.
Like, wait a minute. Reason to force. Just reminding you.
Well, there is a bullet time as the Weaver's Wall from UCal is continuing to try and make a play here. As, let's see, Seismic Shove does find the misfortune, and down she goes once again. I'm really, like, Caustic Curses is so real, man.
What was that?
I was, like, in that team fight around the Dragon, I was like, Jiu, that's so great that you're playing this well. And then twice in a row, things haven't been as great. This is great for Gideon, though. He's going to start with the first kill. Let's see how much more he can get. Takes a long time to kill Lehens as Sponge going to go down. Emperor's Divide just going to hoover up the Jhin. But Calyx is still going to fall. Gideon doesn't have as much damage.
Otacon right now, which has been not great for a lot of our teams here, as Rich does have TP and will show up.
They have so much
damage though, yeah.
Yeah, this is just down as... Oh my god, he steals it! Okay, bullet time is going to be the end of Lazyfield, as we can see. Gideon, it's his turn to be the very long-range Jhin, and he actually picks off UCal. Seismic Shove throws away Jiu, but he doesn't care. They're going to grab a double kill.
Misfortune taking the top inner turret, so a bunch of extra gold going into Jiu and a lot of extra map control that comes with it, because look at the turrets here. Now, DRX don't really have any control over the map. They were able to get the mid turret, but like the outers and the top and bottom lanes are still up, as we're going to see a deep TP from Kingin.
Yeah, and once again, engage onto Leona is going to be the play.
It almost got him.
Dragon is losing interest. Kingin, I'm not sure about this one, buddy, as that blast code not going to work out as he's thrown into the wall. And yeah, it's
Why
like
did
he was flanking. Who are we engaging on again, Wolf?
The Leona!
Oh no! Okay, Sponge, can you actually get anything done? That equalizer, brilliant, but the Pulverize, even better. The Empress Divide one-ups even that, and they all go down. Nongshim finding a gorgeous angle in this team fight. Also able to take down the turret. Calyx getting to work here.
And we have some long death timers here. They're going to escort this minion. They want to try to push to really get into those Nexus turrets, and the Voidling comes out. They've got another wave coming. And also, Andal is not going to be able to buy time.
Oh, and we're not going to call him out for engaging onto a Leona there because the Leona engaged onto him.
Yeah.
The Wolves are also involved.
I think that they might just be able to end this, to be honest. 10 seconds on Lazy Feel. He's a Jin.
I mean,
this
King
is just done so.
and Calyx are all here. This is just going to evaporate. There it goes. Nongshim, 3 games, but they are able to take down DRX in the end. And pretty impressive.